All right, we're back. We said we wasn't gonna go live this week. Kind of lied. Nah, we didn't really lie, but here we are. Uh, just got off the Erica Williams show a little earlier, about an hour ago. There were some questions there that I saw about tech and law, and I got those questions earlier. We had Derek Thomas on to talk about tech and law. Now we're here, and we just wanted to go over some. I just want to go over some stuff that I've been seeing in just today in the industry, just to give you a little glimpse of what's going on and where we're at. First things first, housekeeping. If you are not familiar with who we are, I'm Tam, D's in the back. We're Women in Linux. You can find us at womeninlinux.org. You can connect with us on Slack by hitting connect. You must have the Slack app on your phone or on your desktop. You can also shop with us. Uh, you can spend your money here instead of Amazon. But come here, hit on all products. It's getting cold, so sweatshirts are still out here in different colors. The Raglan's there. You have a hoodie. Oh, you know what? We don't have on here. We don't have any gloves, right? We don't have no gloves. But again, socks, little hat, you ready to go. And last but not least, donate. Donate with your time. Donate to the cause. Donate also on our super chats here. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you subscribe. And as well, last but not least, uh, you can have a one-on-one session with Calendly uh, for whatever career assessment. Some people do career assessment. Some people come on and want to have an in-depth conversation about where do I think tech is going. I for them and what their skill sets are and so forth. And the other thing is too, if you want to use IT Pro TV, you have a actual subscription. Well, we actually have a actual uh, I don't not a subscription, but a promo code that you can use in order to sign up. My suggestion is just to sign up, see if you like it for as far as a trial period, and then go from there. All right. So let's get into it. So there was a lot of talk today, just in general, and you've all heard this before, and I brought this to you before, where it's 40 million people that Google is trying to sign up for getting Google Cloud search, right? 40 million people. So now the question becomes, who is those 40 million people, and where are they going? Where's Google putting money at? Where's Google investing at, right? You also heard about the 750,000 from Amazon. You've also heard about the I think it was 100, was it 100,000 from Walmart. You also heard about Target. I posted earlier this week, um, maybe yesterday, one even early in the week. Today's Tuesday. Uh, I posted the other day the that Nordstrom's and Macy's were ramping up their shopping for the year. So Nordstrom's is hiring 28,000 people, and Amazon is, let me get the link here. Amazon is hiring 150,000 people for the winter, right? So let me pull that over to here so you can see that, right? So here's the one with Amazon to hire aims to hire 150,000 seasonal workers, and they're giving out bonuses. And I think they're starting at either $18 an hour or $25 an hour, and that's on seasonal work. Here's the one what I was talking about, and I showed this earlier on Erica Williams show with the training more than 40 million new people on Google Cloud skills. 40 million. So that lets you know in tech there's about to be a major shift. And I keep telling you about IoT devices, edge computing, AI, machine learning. You saw Facebook talked about the metaverse today. For Mark Zuckerberg, want to hire 10,000 people for that. We also saw. Let me see. I'm trying to find the one for Nordstrom's because I think Nordstrom's was something else. Oh yeah, I didn't know. I posted this, but I didn't talk about this about where Apple will be spending $1 billion to open up the campus in North Carolina with 3,000 people, right? That so if I'm Apple and I got that M1, I'm looking at I told you before, I'm looking at to hire people to build out probably my own cloud or start working with more on the hardware side to get things spun up where there's maybe selling hardware when we're looking at that, right? So um, the choice is yours when it comes to what's going on in tech and whatnot. Let's click on here and see what they just. I just want to see what they got as a as they brought it up. I actually talked about. I actually got my thing up with Snap. Squid Game has been watched by more than 2/3 of Netflix users, but it hasn't helped add U.S. subscribers. Let me see what they got. Anything fancy that's coming out right here? Nothing. All right, cool. Let's go into my world. All right. So Google's CEO, his thought and stance is that you need to embrace that employees want it should be won't stay, won't a say in whether they work remotely, in person, or a mix of both. Uh, the the need to work remotely or a mix. I mean, most people are probably signing these contracts up for 10 years, so that's why they want somebody in the office, and they have all these, all this food, all this other stuff, so they want somebody there, right? And that's really what that boils down to, right? And then two, a lot of people don't want to make the commute anymore. Uh, what was it? I was looking at it earlier today. It was another 4 million people left the job market, something like that. Um, they're leaving the job market, right? They're not staying, right? So let's go on to the next thing I have. Amazon and Starbucks held talks about launching a co-branded lounge that combines cashierless go with a cafe. So remember when we talked about Amazon going into creating brick and mortar locations? Well, what would happen if, just hypothetically speaking, if Amazon bought Starbucks and then they inherit their locations? Maybe, could be, we could be looking at something like that. How much is Starbucks worth? Let's see. Let's see. Starbucks net worth. How much are they worth? How much is Starbucks worth? 4 billion. Total assets of 19 billion. That was in 2019. Let me see if they got any more here. Let's go back. See if they got something in 2021. Yeah, so it's the net worth. Well, that was the CEO. So Starbucks go. This is 2018. They're saying roughly 30 billion. So that's probably why they just want to do the uh, the co-branded stuff. But I wouldn't be surprised if they try to take some of that digital real estate or try to utilize what Starbucks has in competition with Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme, McDonald's, any of the little lounges, WeWorks, so forth. I would. That's a nice play. All right, so we talk. to Derek this weekend. So this is B sides. Their CFP. I want to make sure you all have this link out here for B sides, where you can actually go on and sign up for a talk. They also have like suggestions or whatnot, but you can enter your topic if you wanted to. All right, and if it's okay to record it. So I want you to have that. Speaking of cybersecurity laws, so you know that Derek was making the transition from being a lawyer to IT. So here's a class that Robert Steins is actually hosting on October the 30th at 10 o'clock. You get a CPE credit, that's a continuing education credit. Reasonable measures to protect data, but what does that mean? The talk description is here. With an explosion of cyber-related events such as data breaches, ransomware, business email compromise, there has been an associated increase in litigation. Some argue that cyber-related events are inevitable, but consumers continue to hold companies and technology professionals accountable for failing to take necessary steps to secure data and digital resources. Robert Steins will discuss various laws that require measures to protect data. So it is on you, uh, as an engineer, to make sure you protect data. So when you sign up with a company, you're promising that the laptop that they give you in your possession, the email address that they give you, the credentials that they give you, you're going to keep them safeguarded from others, right? So that's something that you take on. That's your, I don't want to say your oath, but that's something that you're held liable for, right? So you need to understand like what happens to you. Say you click on a link for somebody and your email get hijacked, right? You need, what is your accountability for that, right? Will you get fired? Will you not get fired? What happens? You want to know what's your, what your stance is, not what your stance is, but what things you can do to protect yourself. So check them out. All right, so another thing that often comes up is crypto and law. All right, so Tanya Evans is one of the young ladies that actually uh did a review of my of one of my offer letters. So she is invested into crypto and blockchain, IP, entrepreneurship, and law. Here's a little bit about her, but she has some classes here. If you come here, her classes are Advantage Evans Academy, right? Where she goes over law school courses on blockchain, cryptocurrency, and the law. Uh, that's one of the big things, is how is blockchain going to be regulated as we continue to grow in this space. What can we expect out of that? How can we track things? Smart contracts as well. A global perspective in copyright, as we continue writing. And that's another thing too. Uh, the deep fakes. I don't know if you all seen the deep fakes, like how someone can manipulate your face, your words, and make it seem like you said something, but you really didn't say anything. So, what does that look like? And then information privacy law, wills and trust in the states, copyright, entertainment law. Now we have NFTs with the rappers. What does that mean? So NFT, entertainment, and law. How do all those come together? What are the legal things that you need to have set up when we're looking at this? And then entertainment, law, and new technology. So this is where she talks about here, and this one that says a seminar that analyzes the cutting edge legal issues and principles, developments, and business practices in the entertainment industry. Primary emphasis on the impact of digital technology and the internet in film, television, publishing, music industries, but the course also addresses fashion, gaming, virtual worlds, and their currencies, right? So how does that look? So those of you that want to get into that are not technical and maybe want to lean towards law or want a better understanding, this is something that you can check out. I'll give D this in case y'all are interested. I drop a one in the chat if you like what you're hearing. All right, so let's move on. All right, so now we have New York based crypto giant raises $400 million with plans to invest in Tampa, right? The cryptocurrency company with Tampa Bay based co founder plans to boost its investment in Tampa Bay region thanks to new funding. Crypto lending firm Celsius already has offices across the world, including Atlanta, Australia, and Israel. So let's look up Celsius and we'll type in crypto to give us that, right? Because they're already across the world, right? So get paid weekly with Celsius Network, right? All right, here's their company. Let's hit about. Let's look at about us. Here we go, careers. All right, let's hop down here and see we got. Okay, we got openings. Let's go to United States. Let's click on tech and dev. So back end engineer, they're out of Manhattan. DevOps engineer out of Manhattan, Florida. Development lead, back end, senior back end engineer, front end, full stack engineer. If we look at DevOps, it should be the same thing. You should see the same thing. Drop before I even drop down in here. Let me click off here. Give me one word. Give me one word you will see on this DevOps engineer. Just one word. Just give me one word. I already know you know what that one word is gonna be. Security, Linux. You right? Let's go. Let's go see what they say. All right. All right. Do. Celsius is looking for a professional, experienced, curious DevOps engineer to join the team and take active part in designing, implementing, and maintaining complex financial infrastructure in a high-paced production environment. So this is why I say all the time when we're talking about blockchain and so forth, that's great. But what's behind the infrastructure that is doing the work, right? So that's why I always say, like, when you're looking at these jobs, from my perspective on the infrastructure side, it's just not going anywhere. And this is a new company. This is a startup, right? The role we're seeking for a service-oriented DevOps engineer with a passion for providing an exceptional environment for software engineers to operate in. You're creating the environment for software engineers. So deploy and maintain infrastructure automation configuration management tools, Terraform, Ansible, Puppet, Chef. Design, implement orchestration solutions for dozens of containerized microservices. So 9 times out of 10, Docker or Podman. Support, improve, and upgrade continuous deployment and continuous integration. Understanding the difference between continuous deployment and continuous delivery. Deploy and manage and monitor advanced security solutions to protect high volume value trades and transaction compliance. All right. And so here we go. Let's go back. Let's work back. Agile, Jira, Python, Groovy will probably be using Jenkins, PostgreSQL, MySQL, MySQL, AWS, GCP, working knowledge of configuration management frameworks, Ansible, Terraform, CloudFormation, continuous integration tools, Docker, K8, Jenkins, Git, Linux, right? It's the same recurring theme over and over again when we're talking about DevOps, DevSecOps. It twists up when we're talking about SRE. Now you're talking about uh, performance and creating tools around that performance and so forth. But again, this is for a job at Celsius. Um, let's go back over here to Celsius main site, and then let's hit about so we can look at about us. All right. Um, an economy where financial freedom doesn't come with a price tag, where interests of people are put first, where ethical behavior is baseline, excuse me, and where everyone, and we mean everyone, has an opportunity to succeed financially. Celsius is proud to provide a platform of curated services that have been abandoned by banks. Things like fair interest, zero fees, and lightning quick transactions. Our goal is to disrupt the financial industry one user at a time by introducing financial freedom through crypto. They started in 2017, only been around 4 years. Raised 50 million in 2018. They have an app, and then they go on to talk about what they've done so far. In its numbers, they processed $8.2 billion in loans. They have 1 million plus in the community. Here's the community assets they have, and then go from there, right? So let's say pay and get paid with crypto. So you could probably set up, more than likely set up your bank account when you get paid with your check to go into here, and get paid in crypto, and now go from there. So that's another one. I'll give this link to D, so y'all can check them out. Right? That's why I brought them up. Celsius. All right. So here, what I found, this one was 30 markets that saw the biggest jump in tech job postings. And they also include the companies that posted too, right? So let's go look at the slideshow, right? Right. So Austin, Texas saw a jump from last year from 13,000 to 19,000. Let me see if I don't know if you can see that. All right. Go back down some. There you go. This look like it's fairly big right there. All right. Let's go to the next one. Atlanta went from 21,000 to 30,000. So they saw about 9,000 jobs, 9,300. Nashville, Tennessee, from 5,000 to 75, from 5,000 to 7,500. Indianapolis, number 27. St. Pete went from 7,000 to 4,000 in terms of tech jobs, roughly about 3,500. Uh, Providence, Rhode Island, Hartford, Connecticut, Wisconsin, Tucson, Arizona, Boston. And Tucson was on the list that we saw the other day where you can move and they're giving you money to move. I think it was it 7,500 to move or 20,000 to move or something like that to Tucson. So you get an incentive on top of that. Boston, Ohio, Illinois, Birmingham, Alabama, Dallas, Texas, Portland, Oregon, and that's what Intel is based at, and Nike is based out of Portland, and Puppet is based out of Portland too. Seattle, Washington, saw an additional about what 8,000 jobs. Yep. Kansas City, Bridgeport, Connecticut, Miami, Florida, Detroit, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Boulder, Rochester, New York, Salt Lake City, Utah, Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas. So they're not a lot of tech jobs. They saw 1,000 tech jobs 2020, and now they see 2,000. So they got 1,000 more. Des Moines, Iowa, Boise, Idaho. I mean not Boise, but Boise City, Idaho. Tallahassee, four digits versus triple. Lansing, Michigan, and number one, Springfield, Massachusetts, saw an increase of 506%. So when I see stuff like that, I have to ask questions, what's going on in Springfield? All right. So now let's just look up Springfield, Massachusetts, and I'm just gonna hit. I'm typing Linux, and then let me see what I pull back. All right, Springfield. Let me see how many jobs. I pulled back 253 jobs with Linux. Let me type in AWS. Pull back 436 jobs. If I type in Azure, 370 jobs. And if I type in Microsoft, right, and then find jobs. Didn't find it. Well, it says 30 jobs at Siemens. Uh, then we got IT support. We got Fox. We got 654 jobs when we're talking about sales manager. Federal job 62, but there's something going on in sales there. Uh, Century 21 relocation to Wilton for product change manager outside. So there's a lot of sales going on. Looks like in that area, right? So that's something to be looking at, right? What are they selling, right? So it's something to look at. All right, next one up. Gorilla Gorillas grab close to $1 billion in Series C values the on-demand delivery business at 2.1 billion. Who is Gorillas? It's a Berlin-based on-demand grocery delivery and dark store operator. Gorillas has grabbed close to 1 billion in Series C. Right? They're based out of Germany. Now, because they're based out of Germany, doesn't mean, and in this case, they may not, but doesn't mean they don't have jobs where you can work remotely um, from there to here. Of course, Amazon, Salesforce, everybody works, have these things that work remotely. So let's go check out Gorillas. All right, reject. And let me see, careers. Let's look and see what they got. Let's see. Well, look at there. Would you look at that? Automatically comes up with the United States, right? So, talent brand coordinator, senior public relations, supply planner, director of head of people, city operations manager out of LA, um, workforce management, right? And these are the United States jobs: warehouse, commercial, communications people, and so forth. But they have already expanded here, right? So let's change the location there, and let's go with, see, we got France, Denmark, Germany, a lot of locations in Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and so forth, right? So let's go with London. So in London, it looks like they've got warehouse. So let's get rid of that, and then let's click on department, and then let's go with, we may go with there. Let's go with technology. So their technology based stuff is out of Amsterdam and then Germany. Amsterdam not a bad place to be in terms of living. Um, Fresh food again. I've been three, two, three. I think it's been 2 or 3 times to Amsterdam. Um, I hear Berlin has a strong Caribbean community. Um, Great for, they have a strong one of the bigger what is it called? Not Juve, carnivals. That's what it. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I want to say. So, you never know. You may be here, you may not be here, right? So check them out. Gorillas is the company. They have not IPO'd yet. All right, next one up. I wanted to talk about this massive stalker word leak that puts the phone data of thousands at risk. Call records, text messages, location data are all easily accessible. Yep, yep, Sasha. They have a big uh, uh, Caribbean culture. The private phone of data of hundreds of records of thousands of people are at risk. Call records, text messages, photo browsing, history, precise geolocations, call recordings pulled from a person's phone because of security issues widely used by consumer grade spyware. Uh, Someone emailed the developer whose identity is well hidden through all the known public emails and so forth efforts to contact the spyware developer because the security and privacy of thousands is at risk. We cannot name the spyware or its developer since it would make it easier for bad actors to access the insecure data. So if you downloaded something here recently, uh, that's where we're at. But it's going to be more to come. It says um, TechCrunch also contacted Cordero, the web company that provides hosting for developer spyware infrastructure, but Cordero did not respond. So I don't know. They won't give the name of this one. Federal regulators are starting to take notice. In September, the Federal Trade Commission banned SpyPhone, a stalker app that exposed data of more than 2,000 people. Um, but they have not released what this name is. So it will be coming out really soon about what this is. This was released today at 4 o'clock. Be on the lookout for this tomorrow. Make sure you hit up all the security sites because they haven't named what this is. And it looks like it's something that's pretty well known and common. All right, Snap is launching a global studio to develop branded AR experiences. All right, remember we talked about the hardware and how everybody's going hard on AR, VR, the metaverse, this virtual reality, so forth. We're back again. Here we are. They're launching a new studio, AR. Snapchat's millennial and Gen Z audience. That's who they trying to get. Here we are. We're back again with you know the whole AR, VR, virtual reality, and so forth. But this one too is also aimed at brands, at retail brands as well too, to give you an experience. Um, you saw Facebook was going live with selling clothes just like Amazon. Wouldn't be surprised if you could get some Facebook glasses because Facebook have glasses. I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix comes out with some glasses as well too, so you can have a virtual experience, right? When you're watching shows, right? Like you're right at the movie. Or if I want to try on a shirt, right? I try on it. I take a photo of me or something like that, 3D of me into this app, and then when I go shopping within the app of my selected stores, I can look and see what I look like in those clothes or whatnot, and then I can pick what I want from that. And not only that, I can get suggestions on what others have bought or things that are paired where with that, and as well as make dinner reservations if I needed to, because I got my outfit right. So that's where we're headed, right? Um, Here, that was the Amazon stuff, 40 million. Okay, I went through everything. I went through everything that I wanted to get out. I want to at least have this one live before we get our look at it. 35 minutes. That's pretty good. All right, so I'm leave questions open. If y'all have questions, if you don't have questions, we're gonna hop off. But I want to make sure that you got this information. I didn't want to go through this week and not leave you with some information or whatnot. But there's gonna be way more information going towards the end of the week. We all saw the stuff that went down with not just Netflix today, but the cryptocurrency, the Bitcoin hitting the stock exchange, um, the ETF, Bitcoin ETF, that was out today. The first Bitcoin futures ETF, 4% trading hit the New York Stock Exchange. Pro shares, BITO, that went out. We got questions. Let me look at them. Hold on. Let's see. What if any similarities between infrastructure engineer and DevOps versus back end? Infrastructure engineer and DevOps are the same to me. You can look at the actual title. Back end to me deals with more, for me, building APIs and building services around it. Some some jobs require you to, as an infrastructure engineer, to build APIs, but for the most part, I haven't seen that. Now, it may be a startup that combines all three. Sometimes they'll do that. Cause I was just thinking about getting Linux Essential certificate. Is that a good move? Yeah, you can do that, or you can join the Slack and get the IBM course and study to get your RHCSA. That one is free. It encompasses two courses, 124, 134. And Red Hat is fairly recognized. Oh, and they got bought by IBM for 34 billion. So, that's where I would go with that. Let me see, is there anything else over here? Uh, if you're gonna get your Linux stuff, I mean, again, stack your skills, right? Um, I started out in Linux, so that's how I got my start. That's what I still do too, like Linux and Ansible and everything else. All right, let me see. Oh, and I want to shout out everybody that actually came on. I see you out here, Evelyn. How you doing? Sasha. Um, I guess it's Kate, Kait. I hope I said that right. Brooklyn Love, what's going on? What's up, H Morgan? Oh, you welcome. Yeah, the tech industry is vast, right? So the need to stack skills, like you can specialize in something, but then you got to ask yourself, how long is that specialization going to be around, and who's going to need that specialization? What's the fastest way to become a software engineer with a bachelor's degree in an unrelated field? Um, when you say what's the fastest way, I don't tech is not fast. So if you are in, and I guess the question is will be like, where do you want to go? Why are you? I guess my first question would be is, why are you choosing software engineer? Right? Is it because someone said you needed that, or that's what you heard that was hot, and that's gonna keep you going? I just went through and just showed like law, in crypto. We, I showed you uh, DevOps. We just went and looked at Celsius. So cybersecurity, unless you have an interest in that. But what part of software engineer, like, are you looking to build something? Um, because if that's the case, just go to a community college and get and do the classes. Let's look at this. Let's do what is it? Um, I tell you the community college I went to, but let's just pick a community college. Um, okay, community college programming classes. Um, let's go. Let's look in Atlanta. All right. Let's look at some community colleges. All right. Let's see. Atlanta area tech. Let's see. What boot camp Georgia Tech got? Got a coding boot camp. 12 to 24 weeks. You're gonna learn jQuery, progressive web apps, Agile, Bootstrap, React, Git, command line, MySQL. So basically, it looks like you're gonna build a front end and a back end for that. Can you get a job with that? Sure. Now the question is, do are you understanding the basics? Like what I don't see here is understanding data structures. I don't see anything surrounding algorithms and system design. So that's what you'll get probably out of a community college as well too. When we're talking about uh, data structures and so forth, right? So let me look here. Computer science. Let me look at all the courses. I just picked a random school, so it's not nothing set in stone. You ain't gotta go here. I'm just looking to see what they got. Where's everybody at? This looks like front end. I think you should be doing like data structures. You should be learning about linked lists, structures in terms of how when to use them a stack or a queue, how are they used, struts, those things. You'll probably get that in some of these languages, but you know, let me look and see. Here, creating, running basic program, GUI, adding control windows, free JForm, variable and arrays, process data subroutine, text files, and debugging your application. Yeah, you probably need a little bit more than just that, right? See what else we got. What's going on Q4? But the other thing too, when you're talking about software engineering, um, is what industry in software engineering are you aiming for, right? Are you aiming for fintech? Are you aiming for um, uh, say logistics and security or whatever? So I would look at those. I would actually figure out which field, which area when I'm talking about software engineering, because some people that have been software engineers for Intel for decades, right? Some people have done software engineering for Cisco for decades, right? So you know, when you're thinking about that, I would look at like what interests you the most. Let me give you a prime example of what I'm talking about. Um, so if we go here and we type in auto, oh no, we type in robo race, right? And I talked about this weekend, right? So robo race first driverless, first ever driverless, and then they learning about algorithms and how the actual car is driving and learning the track and adjusting to the track and so forth and so on. So again, there's something I would look at myself. Oh, we got a 50-50 geek salute. I'm with it. I'm with it. So let me see. Any more questions in here? No more questions. Everybody good. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. I wanted to make sure that you at least had some ideas about stuff. What's going on in the tech industry? Again, 40 million people are getting trained at Google on Google Cloud and things centered around it. If you're not familiar with Google Cloud, you can check out Google Next. They just had a conference here uh, where they actually went over um, to take the survey, explore the catalog. So here's AI, machine learning. One of the biggest things, one of the big takeaways was on being able to run Kubernetes anywhere. So inside the industry, data management, but that's one. But if we go, I think it was under infrastructure, uh, cloud anywhere, right? driving transformation with Google Cloud, distributed cloud, right? Um, what is that? Introducing Google's distributed cloud. This demo right here is a really good demo, right? Um, cloud infrastructure, cloud infrastructure learning path, network tiers and optimization, migrate for compute engine, GKE, which is Kubernetes, um, Anthos. This is right here, migrate for Anthos. Quick start. I don't know if you all are familiar with Quick Start, but here you go. Quick Start Labs. Um, Here, AI platform, Quick Start Labs. But anyway, if you just click on Quick Start Labs, um, this is the AI stuff. But anyway, they walk you through what is machine learning, so forth and so on. But they have a whole platform on not just uh, AI, but they just got a whole platform of just to learn on. Let me look and see if I can just get the quick start stuff. Apparently, I can't. Oh, maybe because I'm on all videos. Let me go to all. Here we go. All right, so self pace. Um, if you want to set that up, but that's one. But let me go back. Let's see. Type that in. Why not? Why keep showing up AI? Because they have a whole bunch of other stuff. Yeah, cloud. IM quick start. They have Kubernetes, a whole nine. But if you click on this one here for Anthos, and migrate for Anthos. Anthos allows you to have a an on-prem Google Cloud like you would with AWS. I mean, AWS Outpost and Azure Stack, but it sits on top of VMware, and then from there you're able to run a GKE cluster on-prem, all right, and then have a connection back up to your cloud so you can migrate workloads back and forth if you needed to. Um, that's when it gets in disaster recovery and so forth, right? So that's what that comes into. Um, I don't know if I'm built like a nuclear reactor. I just research information and bring it to you and just have uh just my thoughts on peeling back the layers of what I see. Well, you talk about the Google stuff, right? With 40 million people, and you have to think about how many immigrants have came to the states, right, and gonna continue to come to the states. Now the question should be is, where do you fit in with all of this information? What are you gonna do, right? All right, so that'll be my first thought, right? And then the next thought is, if they're trying to, because there's a skills gap, not just cloud, but cloud, Linux, cybersecurity, IoT devices, edge computing, all the satellite stuff that I keep talking about, that I keep telling you about, that you keep seeing over and over. It's a repeated thing. When we're looking at this, um, and I meant to bring that up. So NASA is working on how to get Wi-Fi to work in space. So from the space missions, in terms of like us going to Mars or wherever else we decide to land on, they're working on Wi-Fi. So when I hear Wi-Fi, I hear hardware. When I hear hardware, I hear embedded. When I hear embedded, I hear Linux. When I hear that as well too, firmware, speed, um, chips, specialty, signal transfer. How do we boost it? How do you extend it? What's the range? How do we capture that? How do we secure it? Those are the things that I hear with that, and those are all jobs that I just mentioned. Um, and when we look at look at this, we have to look at it in a lens from, okay, they're talking about it now, which means they probably already started the research a long time ago, which means they already have money and funding for it. How can I get in? Right. So those are the things that I think about, right? The Google push to train which cloud provider has the largest share in the market. Um, the largest share in the market is AWS, but but the Google data engineering certificate pays the most. So, like, it doesn't matter, right? Because and what you're missing is no one cares about your what cloud you're in, because most people are in a multi-cloud strategy, whether they're in AWS, whether they're in Azure, whether they're in Google Cloud or Oracle Cloud for that matter, right? So it's a multi-cloud strategy when we're talking about this. So you can go get your AWS cert, but a company that you may go work for, especially when you're doing embedded and AI and machine learning and edge computing, right? They may be in GCP and in Azure. They may be in on-prem and GCP and Azure or AWS, or they're phasing out of AWS and moving to GCP, right? It depends. So it's not about the market share; it's about the technology. The technology drives where people are going. All right, right. So uh, there's a ton of stuff out there how to migrate from AWS to Azure and Azure to AWS and all that stuff, right? Do you work with tech writers often? I don't work with tech writers often. I'm usually the one that's writing the tech, writing the articles or something like that. But um, you can kind of further expand on what you mean by working with tech writers. When you say that, are you saying like at a company? Do I work with tech writers? I haven't found any tech writers in the startup world. I found more tech writers in the government world, um, that need to make a how-to guide on something, right? For tech writers, most people are using HereDoc when they are. Let me see, HereDoc when they are. I think that's what it's called. Yep, HereDoc. When they want to make their documentation, right? But if you're looking at, say, I work for a company like a F5 or Prism or Equinix, and I want to talk about how do we use this particular product, then that will be to me like a developer's advocate. Um, where that's what Kelsey is or was. Um, so developers advocate. Let me get rid of Springfield. Oh, come on. All right. I keep coming up with that. Okay. Technical trainer, AI developer advocate. Um, I'll go look at that one. Senior developer advocate. Um, this is what I've seen for the most part. Like on that side where we got a product, we're gonna push this out to our customer. And you can go on YouTube and check it out too. Developer advocate, right? And they have like an idea of what they do, pros and cons, developer advocate career. That's what I've seen. Days in life of Google software developer advocate. She's been around doing her thing over there. But that's what I've seen. The other way I've seen technical writers is, I got this product. We need to write a guide and how to on how to do it. But that's I would tend to look on the product at that point if we're looking at that, right? Do you have any advice or website I can go learn IT security? What about IT security? Right? It depends on what you're looking for when you're talking about that. So when I hear IT security, there's a lot. So sans.org, right? And CompTIA. And we talked about this too on a thing, ISC squared, right? These are just and the only reason looking at these from a certification standpoint, I'm looking at them from a surface um standpoint so that you can look and see what see when y'all look at certifications. Don't look at certifications for if I take the certification class, I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z. You have to look at certifications like this. You go look at the certifications, and then you look at the CISSP, right? But you need to look at what the actual class is teaching you, right? What are they actually going over in the class, right? So, and the reason why I say it that way is because you this is the CISSP, right? But this is IC squared, right? So cloud security CCSP, right? Free ultimate guide. Who earns the CSSP? Um, about the certification process, blah blah blah. Helpful resources, right? Go in here and look at what the class is actually teaching. Let's go here. All right, exclusive. And see all this downloading stuff. I don't been liking all of this. This is why I like Sans. All right, let me go here. Let's go to Sans, the roadmap, and then let's click on cloud security, and let's click on essentials, and then you can come here and click on syllabus. All right. So incident and identity and access management, compute and configuration management, data protection, network and logging compliance, and then they got little bonus, little cloud wars. But now if I click here, I'm gonna get into like, okay, the course topics are cloud accounts, policy permissions, group roles. So then you have to ask yourself, do you want to be in cloud security, right? Then the other aspect is, okay, well, you may not want to be in cloud security, right? You may want to come back here. Let's click on the roadmap. And you may want to go understand security management, get your CSSIP, and then advanced management. Or you may want to do pen testing, or you may want to do forensics, or you may want to do offensive defense, or maybe you want to be a hacker. Or maybe you want to do something with Splunk, right? Splunk, Elasticsearch. So you can do Splunk, cybersecurity, right? They have the whole team right here, right? Data driven security for modern SOC. So you may want to do look at that. But you don't have to buy these courses here. You can go to Udemy, you can go anywhere and get the courses and stuff like that for free. But understand like what does it mean to be like I want to do IT security. That means a lot. You could be cloud security, you could be physical security, you could be uh, working in management. You may not even do anything security wise. You may be doing management when you're looking at that. Let me see. Make sure I got everybody. Yeah, I really live, breathe this field. Yep. This my thing. I've been doing it for 20 years. So it's my thing. It's my go to. I I talk in binary. I can't help it. It's ingrained in me. All right, we're coming up on the hour. D said we only had an hour. We had an hour. Boom. In 10 seconds, we'll be out of here. I appreciate everybody for hanging on. I hope you got some good information. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Share the content. Um, no one's talking tech at 11:30 at night. Everybody's sleep waiting for tomorrow to get y'all. But again, I catch y'all later. See you next week.